best y'all got. Tryna make a dollar, flip it like it's vinyl. Tryna make a way. What's worth to you if the price too high? Quid pro quo, I need the best y'all got. Give me your best. Don't take nothing less, cause I'm giving you 100. How you always leaving me with nothing? I'm not impressed. It's gonna take more than this, cause I'm giving you 100. And I don't even know if I can trust you for nothing.
Muted microphone. Man, that always gets me in the morning. Good morning. Welcome to Wednesday. Welcome to February the 29th, I think. It's the first day of March. Y'all, it's my birthday month. Hot diggity dog. Welcome to March 1st. How many of you thought you'd be at March 1st so fast this year? It is already March. It's already almost spring. The Masters starts in almost a month. I am so excited. Man, it's March, y'all. It's birthday month. Although men don't get to celebrate birthday months like women do. It's Zeke's birthday month too. That's right. Zeke will have a birthday month. Aaron will have a birthday month, but it's okay. It's all good. So good morning, Michelle. Welcome to day 60. Day 60, y'all. Can you believe that? I can't believe it. It's pretty flipping amazing. Tell Jared I said what up and congratulations. Vanessa, you did win this morning. Vanessa self is in the door first. She got Teal by a nose. Actually, she beat Jessica by a nose. But good morning. Good morning, Teal. Good morning, Jessica. Good morning, Michelle. Whoop, whoop. Good morning, Kristen Ritchie. Y'all, this I'm telling you, I thought my wife was crazy when she said you ought to get up at 4:45 and go run first thing in the morning. That sounded like the most ridiculous idea ever. Good morning, Anna Davis. This sounded like the most ridiculous idea ever. And this morning, it sounded like the most even more ridiculous when I got up at 4:45 and got out of bed. Because I promise you, nobody in their right mind wants to get out of bed at 4:45 in the morning. I'm telling you, they don't. It's an amazingly stupid thing to want to get out of bed at 4:45 in the morning. Yet, however, when I did it, you know what I realized? One, that she had moved my clothes from where I thought I had them to get dressed in the morning. My new habit is I try to, and I'm trying to build these new habits, right? I'm trying to build these new things to make my life easier. So this new thing that I do now and try to do now is to put my running clothes in the closet, in the floor by my shoes. So that way, we have a big closet. So I get in the closet, get dressed in the closet so I can leave the lights off so I don't wake her up. And then I get out of the bedroom and go do my thing. Well, I put my clothes on the floor, and where I put my clothes, my socks and my shirt and my shorts to go run this morning, there were clean clothes in that spot, and my clothes weren't there in that spot. So, of course, the bitch voice on my shoulder says, well, your clothes aren't there. You probably don't have anything to run in anyway. It seems like a good morning to go back to sleep. It is Wednesday. It is 4:45. They'll see you at the meeting. You probably ought to go to bed. So this morning, I'm telling you, it's amazing what you're looking for, you will find. And the difference between a reason and an excuse is about as thin as that paper towel right there. There is not much difference, y'all, between a reason and an excuse. And the only thing that shifts it from being an excuse to a reason is your freaking mindset and what you decide to do and what you're going to do with it. And that's the only difference in them. So, long story short, I found more clothes in the dryer. I got dressed in the laundry room. I went out and run. And Kristen Ritchie, I am with you. It sucked. I hated it. When I started walking, I went, man, and it was cold outside, a little bit chilly, a little chillier this morning than it was yesterday morning. And I started and I went, man, this is going to suck. And it actually, y'all, I ran further today than I ran yesterday. I'm putting it together. I told y'all my goal for this end of this 75 days, my goal is to run for 45 straight minutes. Because y'all remember when I started running last year, and my goal was just to run for 20 straight minutes. And now I'm stringing those together, and my runs are stronger now. And I promise you, this morning, I probably I did weasel out just a little bit. My bitch voice did get me just a little bit. It wasn't because I was tired. It's just because I wasn't there yet. I'm not ready yet. But I think by next week, I'll be able to run the entire 45 minutes, which means, good morning, Casey. If I run 45 minutes, that means I'm ready for a 5K. I'm ready to go run a 5K. And I'm super excited about that because I promise y'all, Aaron Dwyer waking up one day and deciding to go run a 5K is the same thing as a monkey flying in the air. It ain't going to happen. But I'm going to do it. I promise you I'm going to do it. I'm going to run a 5K. I'm going to have a little thing that says I ran a 5K. And then the next thing on the list will be a marathon. Maybe a half. Maybe I'll do a half next. So let's get rolling. Let's get rolling this morning. I think there's some things I want to talk about this morning. I feel really, really good. I hope everybody's gonna be there. Holy crap! Jared was up at 3:45. You got me, Jared Tilson. I hear you, brother. That right there, that's awesome. Is Jared Tilson like as big as a stick right now? Because he was like little bitty before he started, or is he just got like a bulked up? Casey, thank you. I absolutely appreciate that. I just got to convince myself of that because I promise you it has more to do with what Aaron believes about himself than what you believe about me. But I appreciate the encouragement. Did you run a 5K? That's awesome. Look, Jared Tilson's going to be an Adonis. We'll see him on the lake, and he'll look like the Hulk. He'll be all blown up. All right, here we go. Let's get going. Let's get rocking. That way I can let you guys go so you can get ready to go to the meeting and be in Madison today. And I got to get ready to go to the meeting to be in Madison today as well and get my wife ready to be in the Madison meeting as well. So good morning to the Facebook user. Unbeknownst who that is. Who's that? Must be somebody on the nation. So good morning, Diane, maybe. Diane Farr is usually a good one to be in here with us this morning. Let's get rolling. My name's Aaron Dwyer. My wife, Christy Dwyer. Aaron Dwyer is my name. Good morning, Adam. My name's Aaron Dwyer. My wife, Christy Dwyer, and I own a real estate company. We own companies in Georgia and in Tennessee, and we get up every single morning. What started as an idea for us to stay connected to our agents and just speak a little bit of life and love into them every single morning has turned into a year later. Here we are spending 30, 45 minutes an hour laughing, cutting up, crying, sharing stories, encouraging, helping our agents create and fashion really great mornings, because we know that if we build a good morning, if we can have a morning routine and start our day off on the right foot, we have a really good shot of having a great day. And man, if we can put enough great days together, we can make a great life. So that's what we do every single morning. If you're here with us this morning and you're up early and on this live, then just say good morning. Let me know that you're here. We've got a group of folks on the Exit Realty Lake Country Nation. We have a vast valley of darkness of the Leaders Nest on Facebook that nobody goes to. Then, of course, we have you guys that are here this morning. So super excited to get going and get this thing rolling. We are on day 18, I believe, we are not on number 18. We're on number 19. So we're on number 19 of Grant Cardone's 32 Things Successful People Do That Unsuccessful People Don't Do. Good morning, Diane Farr. That's her coming to us from Kodak, Tennessee, little East Tennessee up in the mountains. I bet it's pretty up there right now, or starting to get pretty. Dogwoods and trees starting to bloom. Oh, thank you, Kristen. Thank you. I love doing it too. I'm gonna get my wife back in here, sitting in the chair with me, and get her back in the groove one of these mornings. But it's okay. She's doing her thing. She's getting Zeke up, getting him ready. Y'all, if she yells at Zeke, y'all please forgive her, because she's been trying to wake him up for like 25 minutes, and I really think that the couch has formed around him, and that like the cushions have sucked him into the couch, and he's not getting up. So if y'all hear her yell at him, please forgive her. She's trying to whisper, make him get up. So we're on day 19 of 32, which means we've been through 19 different things. We've been through 19 different principles that Grant Cardone believes in his 32 things that successful people do that unsuccessful people don't do, from the 10X Rule, the book that he's written, that I'm hoping most of you are going to get a chance to read. If you're not reading it now, that you're going to read it here very soon. This is an important one, And I think it goes right along with what we've been doing, what a lot of us who are still in the 75 hard program are doing, what a lot of us do every single day. And that is break traditional ideas. Break traditional ideas is number 19. Y'all have heard me talk about this in sales meetings, and I've talked about this 10% difference. I talk about being different than the crowd, being different than 90% of the other real estate agents in the industry, because at the end of the day, 90% of the real estate agents in the industry do 90% of the same things. They say the same things to expireds. They say the same things to for sale by owners. They do this listing the same way. They do their listing presentation the same way. They put the pictures on the MLS the same way. They do the same things over and over and over again. And there's this whole level of average in the real estate industry. And what the consuming public is telling you, what consumers and our clients are telling us is they want something more. If you're going to make this much money, we want value. Christy and I say this all the time. There's no question of commission. The only time question commissions come up is in the absence of value. If you're providing value, if your clients value your service, if your clients value you as a professional, if you guys value you as their trusted advisor, they don't question their commission. They're happy to pay you the commission. We sat in a meeting yesterday with an attorney, and that dude's just racking up dollar bills. And I'm telling you what, he's worth every freaking dollar. He's worth every dollar that we pay him. He's worth it. There's a value there. If he wasn't worth it, we wouldn't sit in there and have those conversations. We wouldn't use him. But there's value in those conversations. There's value in that advice. There's value in him being our trusted advisor. There's value in that. So Grant Cardone is saying to us in number 19, break from the traditional ideas. Successful people break away from traditional ideas. They don't do it like everybody else does it. They are looking for that 10% difference, that 5% difference, that thing that sets them apart, that thing that sets them out, that thing that makes them different. I don't care what it is. But successful people break from the traditional ideas. They don't do it like everybody else does it. And so the title of mine this morning was, and again, it's a broken record. I'm going to say this until God takes me from this earth. As long as he gives me breath in my lungs to talk to people, as long as he gives me breath in my lungs to share with people what's on my heart, I'm going to say this. We will never have what we've never had if we won't do something different than we've always done. I said that really poorly. To have what you've never had, you've got to do what you've never done. For me to be stronger, for me to be more, for me to be better, for me to challenge myself, it's not enough for me to go stand on the sidewalk in front of the gym and look through the window every morning. It's not enough for me to go outside and take a deep breath and go, you know what? I wish I could go run today, but I'm not going to. I'm going to go back inside to have coffee. It's not enough for me to print a list of expired listings and look at them on the piece of paper and not call them. It's not enough for me to stand on the sidelines and watch the people battle, watch the people in the arena. It's not enough for me to stand at the window and get stronger. At some point, I've got to open the door. I've got to walk in the gym, and I've got to challenge myself to be uncomfortable. At some point, I've got to go in, I've got to open the door, I've got to walk in, I've got to grab some weights, and I've got to experience the adversity. At some point, I've got to do something different than I've ever done so that I can have something I've never had. Successful people break from the traditional ideas. I feel like Christy and I try to do that with our real estate company. There are a lot of things that we do that are the same, but there's so much that we do that's different. And it's hard to express the difference to other people. It's hard to express that and show them a presentation when, we talk to agents and they go, just send me something and let me take a look at it. You know what? I'm not going to send you anything because what I send you is not going to matter. Because what I send you doesn't allow you to experience the difference. When somebody says to you, this is a different kind of this, we are a different kind of that, we're a different, they can't do that in a PowerPoint. You can't do that in a PDF. There's something different about us, and we know there's something different about us. Those of you who come here experience the different about us. And what's crazy is what draws people to us, some people turn around and use it as an excuse to leave. That's the amazingly crazy thing to me. I joined you because you're a family, but now you're too much of a family, so I'm going to do something else. I'm sorry. What did you say? Come again? I joined you because I felt connected to you guys, but now I'm just too connected to you guys, so I'm going to go try something else. Okay. Go fly, fish. Go fly. Break from the traditional ideas. Set yourself apart. Oh my gosh. I did not create you to conform to this world. The Bible says, be ye different. It says, set yourself apart. If I could, and I'm no biblical scholar. I know enough. I'm like a yellow belt in Taekwondo. I know enough about the Bible to get me in trouble. But I know a lot of Bible verses, and I know it pretty good. But even the Bible says, and it says again, y'all, the Bible, the Torah, all these different religious scriptures, all these religious texts, these things that were provided to us from the beginning of time, I promise you, they all say the same thing. Be ye different. Don't be conformed to this world. I created you in the image of God. Y'all, if you're created in the image of the Creator, I thought of something this morning. I wish it would come back to me because it was really, really good. I hate when I do that. Oh, it's this. The Bible doesn't say you were influenced by the image of God. It doesn't say you were influenced to be like God. It says you were created by God. You were created in the image of the Creator. That's what it says. You're not the same. You are different. You are created differently. You are a different person. But so many of us, we get so influenced by the outside world. We get so influenced by all the things that happen to us on the outside. We are so influenced by our circumstances that we forget that we were created in the image of God. Stop being influenced by everybody else. Stop being influenced by the masses. Stop being influenced by the things on the outside. Take a stand, take your seat, take a moment, sit in silence and connect to who you were actually created to be. You were created to create influence, not let influence create who you are. You were created to influence the things around you, not to sit there and allow those things to influence who you are. Lynn, come. Lynn didn't say good morning. Lynn jumps in off the top rope with an elbow. She just jumps in and goes, wah, bam. Lynn Garrison said, God didn't create us to fit in. He created us to stand out. We are set aside. We were not set aside, but we're set apart for Him. Y'all, we let too many things influence us. You forget who you are. My job in your life is to remind you every stinking morning, Monday through Friday at 6:30 Eastern and 5:30 Central, I'm teasing, who you are. Our job is Aaron and Christy Dwyer. Our attorney asked us this yesterday. Why are you doing this? He looked at me across the table and says, why are you doing this? And I said, because we care about our people. I'm gonna get choked up this morning again. Man, this 75 Hard thing's got me all emotional. Got me all in my feels. He asked us, why do you do this? And I said, because we care about everybody in our company. We care about their well-being more than we care about ours. Because we love them more than we love us. That's why we're doing this. And this was his response. He shrugged his shoulders and went, because it's not something regular people understand. Now, he's super tired. That he was also super tired.
Actually, he said, give me what I need to kick his ass.
It's Christy reminded me. He said, then give me what I need to kick his ass, is what he said. And he was super tired yesterday. So I'm going to give it to him. I'm going to cut him a little slack on yesterday. But y'all, that's why we do what we do. That's why you do what you do. That's why we're connected. Birds of a feather flock together. Successful people break from the traditional ideas. Successful people break from the way that everybody else does things. Kristen Seabolt sent a message yesterday. It's put on the exit, our little iPhone group chat, and said there was somebody down at Lake Oconee, one of the agents at Lake Oconee. Somebody was complaining that someone took a picture of one of their listings and put it out on Facebook or put it on social media. Y'all, I promise you, there are enough things in the world to bitch about. That shouldn't be one. That shouldn't be one. But it's just an example of how people act and how people stay stuck in this funky mindset, and how people stay stuck in this they get stuck in this thing, y'all, and they spread that thing to other people, and then that thing goes to other. Another little insight I had this morning. I don't know. I have to expand on this one. But we all know about the door, right? So we hear the thing that if God shuts a door, nobody can open it. If God opens the door, nobody can close it. We know about the door. We all picture the door, and the door is an opportunity, right? The door is something for us to walk through. We're walking in a hallway, and the hallway's got a number of doors, and we're looking for the door of opportunity for our next step. We're looking for the door of opportunity for the next place in our life. We're looking for the door of opportunity that is our next thing to go encounter, challenge, our next thing to go go accomplish, or the next thing that we have to go conquer. Through that door is our next whatever it is, right? And we knock on the door. We try to open the door, and sometimes it causes us to kick the door in. But one of the insights I had this morning is your quit sits in a chair at the end of the hallway. Your quit sits at the end of the hallway in a chair and just sits there with his leg crossed, sits there with her leg crossed, and she just waits for you to walk by. He just waits for you to walk by and go to the door. And as soon as you start knocking on the door, and if it doesn't open right when you think it ought to open, if it doesn't open right when you say it ought to open, if you get discouraged, guess what Mrs. Quit does, what Mr. Quit do, what they do? They walk right up behind you and tap you on the shoulder, because they're always sitting there waiting for you to try something new. They're always sitting there waiting for you to open up some door, and Quit will walk up right behind you and tap you on the shoulder and say, I'm not even sure why you're here. You probably ought to go do something else. Quit never leaves us. Our quit never leaves us. It's always there. It's always looking for an opportunity to break in and to disconnect you from your purpose. Your quit is always there, looking to distract you into something else. Your quit is always sitting in a chair at the end of the hallway, watching you walk by, going to find your next door. So maybe the traditional idea that you need to break from today, maybe the traditional idea that you need to break loose from today, maybe the thing that you need to go be successful in today is double burden. If you like to shoot birds, double burden quit and say, I'm not quitting. Walking outside when it's time to go run, getting on those. Y'all, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not any different than you. And I hate calling people I don't know as much as you do. I promise you I do. But what I have realized is when my little quit voice starts to say, you ought not call them, that's a clear indication that I probably ought to call them. And I'm going to tell you what happened yesterday. And I'm only sharing with you this story to encourage you and let you know that I go through the same things you go through. And I have set my mind this year to close real estate transactions. I have set my mind in the goals that I write every single day. I have a number of transactions that I'm going to do this year. Okay, it's on my list of goals that I write every single day. I've got a number of transactions, and that means I've got to go do things. I can't just sit at the window and look inside the gym and say, man, I wish I had muscles like that. I can't just fog up the glass on the outside of the gym and say, man, I wish I could lift weights like that. I've actually got to open the door, go in and pick up a weight and go do something, which means I've got to pick up my telephone. I've got to dial numbers and I got to call expired listings. And I did that on Tuesday. Sorry, I did that on Monday. I called some expired listings. I didn't call many. I called some. I didn't call 10 or 15. I called like 4 or 5. Some I didn't get. Some didn't answer the phone. Some told me that they're not selling. Strangely enough, I got a text message from someone yesterday pulling up to the attorney's office, and he said, "This is Chris. Give me a shout back. I saw that you called yesterday." Knew who he was. I knew the house that he had. I knew exactly the address that it was. I called him on the phone, have a conversation. Y'all, I have a listing appointment next week for $1.8 million. I have a $1.84 million listing that I got from calling expired listings. When I tell you this stuff works, if Tom Ferry tells you this stuff, if Brian Buffini tells you this stuff, if Michael Burt tells you this stuff, if Aaron Dwyer tells you this stuff, if Christy Dwyer tells you this stuff, if Joe Schmo tells you this stuff, if Haas Pratt tells you this stuff, y'all, it works. You just have to do the work. You can get in shape if you'll walk in the gym door and start throwing some weights around. It's going to suck at first. You can build your cardiovascular strength if you go run every day. It's going to suck at first. You can get super good at calling expired listings if you do it every day. It's going to suck at first. Opportunity and action, they have to intersect. I stand at the door and knock. I stand at the door and knock. It's there. It is waiting for you. You have just got to walk toward it. Anne-Marie and Casey, I want to hear y'all's story, but y'all might want to save it for the meeting. Are y'all coming to the meeting? Save it for the meeting. Hope you're coming. Break from the traditional way of doing things. Successful people look for better. They look for opportunity. They look for a crack. They look for ways to make things work. Successful people don't do it like everybody else does it. You were called to be different. You were called to be separate. You're not just a almost conqueror. You're not just a conqueror. You are more than a conqueror. Can you imagine being more than a conqueror? Go read about some folks who in history have been conquerors. And then try to imagine yourself being more than that. Like, we took over this part of the world, but I'm more than that. We took over this territory, but I'm more than that. As soon as you realize that you have the ability to create your circumstances, as soon as you realize you have the ability to create the life around you, as soon as you break from the traditional ideas, as soon as you break from and thinking like everybody else thinks, and as soon as you realize and you break from this hypnosis of mediocrity, and you think you're like everybody else, and you got to have what everybody else has, and you got to do what everybody else does, and you got to look at what everybody else looks at, and you got to do the things that everybody. As soon as you figure out that you don't have to do that crap, as soon as you figure out who you are and that you have the ability to create your own life. You have the ability to create your circumstances. You have the ability to create the influence on the things around you. Y'all, that's when things change. That's when the world shifts. That's when what you look at begins to change. Because now you're not looking for the same things. Now you're not looking for the same problems, the same issues. Now you're looking for bigger opportunities. Now you're looking for better masterminds. Now you're looking for better groups of people to be in. Now you change the circle of friends that you're in. Now you disconnect from the past, your memories, and what's always been. Now you're looking for what is. And there's power in that. Break from the tradition. Do the hard thing. I thought about this, and I'm going to leave you with this. You hear me say, I've said this on more than one occasion, that the journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step. And I talked about it a couple of days ago, that when you start a 1,000-mile journey and you look at zero, you're standing at zero, and you're looking to 1,000 miles, that seems very, very overwhelming. And it's almost impossible. And many times we will talk ourselves out of the first step because we're afraid of the 1,000th mile. And so I almost talked myself out of running this morning because I couldn't find my freaking clothes. That's how weak our minds are sometimes. But what I figured out this morning, at the end of this 75 hard, at the end of this deal, I have done almost 4 miles. So every single day, my outside workout consists of either a 45-minute walk or a 45-minute run. And I'm averaging about 4 miles in that 45 minutes. And if I multiply 75 times 4, I think that is 300 miles. I think 75 times 4 is 300. So in 75 days, in my journey from 0 to 1,000 miles, I've done 300 miles. Think about that. In 75 days, Aaron Dwyer has run or walked 300 miles. And I did 300 miles one day at a time, one step at a time, 1 foot at a time, 1 mile at a time. And will have transversed 300 miles. That means I'm almost a third of the way there. Then in another 150 days, I could almost beat 1,000 miles. My journey of 1,000 miles started as day 0. And in 75 days and 15 more days, I will have traveled 300 of those miles. That's flipping crazy. But it's also a testimony and an illustration of what it takes to be different, what it takes to do something different, what it takes to step out of your comfort zone and do one thing at a time. And doing one small thing every single day. And having a consistent persistence that nobody can pull you off track. Successful people break from the traditional ideas. Successful people break. They step away from the crowd. They don't do what everybody else does. They go on the path less traveled. Wide is the path that leads to destruction. Doing it like everybody else gets you what everybody else has. And when I look at the world and I look at what everybody else has, and I look around and I see people that struggle with health, I see people that struggle with life, I see people that struggle with finances, I see people who are miserable in their marriages, in their careers, in their life, in their legacy, when they're leaving nothing behind and they die. We're all going to the same place, y'all. This journey for all of us ends up at the same spot. This journey for all of us ends up at the same place. What are you going to do between right now, today, March the 1st, and the rest of your life? What are you going to do right now between March the 1st, 2023 and the day it ends? You want to be like everybody else? I don't. Break from the traditional ideas. Break from the hypnosis of mediocrity. Break from doing what everybody else does. Be ye conformed to the renewing of your mind. Accept you're conquering. Accept that you're created in God's image. Go be different. Break from tradition. Be freaking awesome today. Y'all, I got to go. I'm going to use up all my words. I don't have any words for the Madison meeting. I love y'all. I'm sorry, but it took a little bit longer. I was supposed to be off this thing 15 minutes ago, but I got kind of in a groove. So I'm sorry. I love you guys. I do. Happy Wednesday. Hopefully I'll get to see a lot of you in the meeting in about 3 hours. Madison, 10:30-ish, 10:45-ish. Be there. We got new people coming. We got some new agents coming. So I'm excited about that. Be good, be great, be you. Love y'all. Have an awesome Wednesday. See you soon. Bye.